The Galactic Academy was a sprawling metropolis of a campus floating within a nebula at the center of the Federation's territory. Constructed from glistening alloys and crystallized energy fields, its spires twist toward the stars, like the arms of a cosmic octopus. For alien students arriving from hundreds of worlds, it represents the pinnacle of learning. A place where the most advanced minds come to hone their knowledge of warfare, diplomacy, and science. Among the newly arrived students are Vec, Zari, and Drila, each unique and possessing skills revered by their species. Vec, with his sapphire scales and razor-sharp mind, is a master strategist from Ardrak, where tactics are as prized as family honor. Zari, a plasma-based life form, shimmers with a constantly shifting hue and possesses a fluid intelligence that allows her to adapt and analyze data faster than any computer. Drila, the youngest of them, belongs to a species of winged beings with unparalleled sensory perception, able to detect emotions, sense, and vibrations from miles away. Despite their differences, the trio becomes fast friends, bonded by a mutual thirst for knowledge and the thrill of adventure. On their first day, the students gather in the grand auditorium, where the walls pulse with holographic depictions of past galactic battles. The Academy's founder, a legend known as Kargath, is honored with a colossal hologram at the center, showing him standing victorious on a battlefield. The new students look up in awe as a tall, shadowed figure steps forward. It's Professor Relic, a distinguished historian with hundreds of galactic conflicts under his belt, and a figure of reverence among all sentient species. His words echo through the room, capturing the attention of even the most distracted minds. Welcome to the Galactic Academy, where you'll learn the art and science of preserving peace and of preparing for war, he says. His voice is calm and controlled as a black hole. Today, we protect over 3 year-old worlds, but history shows that peace is always fragile. You are here to ensure it lasts. The lights dim, and a holographic map of the galaxy appears. Professor Relic points to various sectors, recounting stories of alliances and betrayals, victories and losses. Yet as the lesson unfolds, Vec notices a curious omission. There's no mention of Earth, the small blue planet he'd heard whispers about during his early education on Ardrak 9. As the day progresses, Professor Relic dives into the histories of countless species, highlighting the unique contributions each has made to galactic peace. However, any mention of humans or Earth remains conspicuously absent, leaving a tantalizing gap in the fabric of galactic history. Later that day, as the students disperse to their living quarters, Vec, Zari, and Drila gather at the Academy's garden, a serene place filled with flora from various planets. Vec, his scales catching the garden's multicolored light, voices his curiosity to the others. There's something strange about the way they teach us. I couldn't help noticing Earth isn't mentioned at all. Isn't it just a primitive planet? Zari replies, her plasma form pulsating with a flicker of intrigue. Maybe they didn't have much to contribute? Drila, more perceptive than both, tilts her head. Then why does everyone avoid the subject? I caught Relic pausing once when Earth came up. It's as if there's some hidden story we're not being told. Their conversation is interrupted by a fourth voice, calm but authoritative. It's Professor Relic, who has approached unnoticed. I see you're already questioning the curriculum, he says, a hint of approval in his tone. Curiosity is a rare gift. Perhaps you should explore that subject further, but be cautious. Some parts of our history are concealed for reasons beyond comprehension. Before any of them can ask what he means, Relic gives a slight nod and walks away, leaving the trio more intrigued than ever. They look at one another, an unspoken pact forming between them. It's clear that whatever secrets surround Earth, they won't rest until they uncover the truth. As they walk back to their quarters, Vec mutters, Earth, a forbidden alliance. Maybe, or a failed experiment. Theories whirl in their minds, each one more enticing than the last. They vow to find a way into the Academy's restricted archives, convinced that the truth about Earth holds a mystery worth discovering, one that might alter their understanding of the galaxy forever. And so, their journey begins, bound not only by friendship but by a shared obsession with the hidden history of humanity and the elusive truth that lies within the forbidden files of the Galactic Academy. Night falls on the Galactic Academy, and while most students retire to their quarters to prepare for the next day, Vec, Zari, and Drila are just getting started. The trio has spent hours planning, whispering in hushed tones and exchanging ideas on how to infiltrate the restricted section of the galactic archives. Their curiosity about Earth and its hidden history has transformed into a need to uncover the truth, a desire fueled by Professor Relek's mysterious hint. The Academy's security systems are notoriously advanced, but Vek's skills in digital infiltration are unmatched. He has trained his entire life in the art of subterfuge, and his confidence grows with each moment.
Zari,
With her ability to alter her plasma form, acts as the lookout, ready to shift into shadows or blend into walls if anyone approaches. Drila, using her heightened senses, keeps an ear out for even the faintest sound of a guard or surveillance drone. Together, they make their way through the dimly lit corridors toward the heart of the archives. They reach a towering door of reinforced alloy etched with ancient symbols. Marking it as a place of utmost secrecy, Vek pulls out a small device, a homemade hacking tool, and begins bypassing the security systems. The door unlocks with a soft hiss, and the trio slips inside, greeted by rows upon rows of hollow crystals, each containing data spanning centuries. Their attention is drawn to a lone, pulsing crystal at the center of the room. It glows faintly, casting an eerie light across the cold chamber. It's labeled Project Earthfall. The name sends a shiver down their spines, each of them feeling the weight of the information contained within. Hesitant but determined, Vek activates the crystal, and a holographic display bursts to life, revealing classified documents, reports, and videos. The first document they open details Earth's initial encounter with the Galactic Federation. Apparently, the Federation had first observed Earth as a primitive, resource-rich planet and deemed humans unfit for interaction with advanced civilizations. But during the First Galactic War, humans became an unexpected variable. Earth's isolation was disrupted when a fleet of human-made vessels, crude yet effective, appeared in Federation territory, rallying alongside the Federation in its defense against the Karith Dominion, a brutal empire known for consuming entire planets to fuel its expansion. The holographic display shifts to a grainy video of the battle. They watch in stunned silence as human ships maneuver with reckless precision, dodging blasts with an almost suicidal determination. Despite their outdated technology, the humans are relentless, employing unpredictable tactics that defy the logic ingrained in every other species. One clip shows a human pilot ramming his ship into a Karith vessel, sacrificing himself to destroy a crucial enemy carrier. "What are they doing?" Drila whispers, her wide eyes filled with both horror and admiration. They're risking everything. Zari, who has spent her life analyzing data and probabilities, is dumbfounded. They don't act rationally. Their moves are beyond strategy. They're emotional. The files confirm their suspicions. Humanity's resilience, adaptability, and emotional fervor created a profound impact on the Federation forces. Reports from alien officers recount their experiences fighting alongside humans, describing the strange, almost contagious quality of their emotions. The files repeatedly emphasize a single term: infectious resolve. One file stands out, a classified memo from the Galactic Council. In it, Federation leaders express their unease with humanity's presence. They argue that the humans' unpredictable behavior and refusal to adhere to conventional tactics make them as dangerous as they are valuable. The memo concludes with a grim decision: Earth must be isolated. Humanity's influence on the galaxy is too disruptive. If left unchecked, it could destabilize the delicate balance of interstellar peace. They were banned not because of weakness, but because of strength that was uncontrollable and, to the Federation, terrifying. This is why Earth was erased from the history lessons, Vek says, his voice tinged with awe. They saw humans as a threat, not because of their weapons, but because of their spirit. The hologram flickers, shifting to an audio log recorded by a Federation general who served alongside the humans. His voice is weary, filled with both admiration and fear. Their courage is beyond measure. They do not fight for conquest, nor do they seek glory. They fight because they cannot accept defeat. We have never encountered a species with this kind of resolve. It spreads through our ranks like wildfire. It makes us question our own methods, our own beliefs. If the galaxy adopts their ways, we may be consumed by it. The log ends, and silence fills the room. The trio looks at one another, each contemplating the implications of what they've discovered. Humanity wasn't just a species to be hidden away. They were a potential catalyst for change. A change so profound that the Federation chose to ban them from galactic affairs rather than face the unknown consequences of their influence. Just as they begin to process this revelation, an alarm blares. Vec's device had triggered a security protocol they hadn't anticipated. Red lights flash, and the door slams shut. The archive's automated defense systems activate, and a holographic warning appears above the door. Unauthorized access detected. With no time to waste, Vec scrambles to disable the system, but the security is too advanced. Zari shapeshifts into a thin mist, searching for an escape route, while Drila tries to calm herself, her sharp senses picking up footsteps approaching from the other side of the door. Suddenly, the door slides open, revealing Professor Relic, his expression unreadable. The alarm shuts off with a wave of his hand, and he gestures for them to follow him. Realizing they have no choice, they walk behind him, tense and waiting for a reprimand. But Relic says nothing until they reach his private office, a dimly lit room filled with ancient artifacts and tomes from across the galaxy. Finally, he turns to them, his gaze piercing. "You've learned why Earth was exiled," he says, his voice calm but laced with a mysterious intensity, the truth most students will never know. "Now, I have a question for you. What do you intend to do with this knowledge?" They exchange glances, a silent communication passing between them. Drila steps forward, voice resolute. "We want to understand why the Federation is so afraid of humanity. There's something about them, about their resilience, that makes them more than just a war threat. Isn't there?" Professor Relic's expression softens, a faint smile playing on his lips. "Yes, there is. And you may come to realize that the Federation's fear of humanity has little to do with power or conquest. Their fear is something far more complex." He looks at them, a hint of pride in his eyes. "If you are willing, I will help you learn more. But remember, once you pursue this path, there is no turning back. The truth has a way of changing those who seek it." With that, the trio's fate is sealed. They will follow Professor Relic down this forbidden path, into the depths of galactic secrets and ancient fears. Whatever they uncover about humanity, they know it will alter their perception of the galaxy and themselves forever. Following their tense conversation with Professor Relic, Vic, Zari, and Drila find themselves more determined than ever to unravel the truth about humanity's exile. Relic, while guarded, finally agrees to help them, but warns that the full truth cannot be understood through archives or history alone. To truly comprehend why the Federation banished Earth, they need to speak to someone who lived through it firsthand. The next day, Relic summons the trio to a secluded area of the Academy, far from the bustling corridors. There, he reveals the location of Tarek, an exiled Federation war hero who now lives in solitude on an abandoned asteroid. Tarek was one of the few commanders who fought beside the humans in the First Galactic War, and witnessed both their strength and the consequences of their involvement. Relic's voice is grave as he instructs them, "Be respectful. Tarek has paid a high price for his knowledge." Under cover of darkness, the students sneak onto a Federation shuttle bound for an asteroid in the distant outer rim. After a turbulent journey through asteroid fields and collapsing star clusters, they arrive at Tarek's hideaway, a desolate, barren rock bathed in the eerie light of distant stars. The asteroid is bleak and quiet, a sharp contrast to the grandeur of the Galactic Academy. As they step off the shuttle, they see Tarek's home, a makeshift shelter cobbled together from scavenged starship parts, half buried in the rocky landscape. Tarek himself stands at the entrance, a tall, scarred figure wrapped in a tattered cloak. His eyes, once sharp with the focus of a warrior, now carry the weight of countless battles and losses. He watches them approach, his expression unreadable, but something in his gaze suggests that he already knows why they've come. "So," Tarek begins, his voice a low growl, "Professor Relic sent you to dig up ghosts." He gives a short, bitter laugh. "Careful what you wish for. Young ones, truth is a double-edged blade." Despite the warning, Vec steps forward, undeterred, We want to understand. The Federation erased Earth's history from our records and banned them from the galaxy. They treat humanity as a threat. But why? Tarek scrutinizes them for a moment before sighing and gesturing them to follow him inside his shelter. Inside, relics from his past line the walls, faded Federation insignias, torn battle maps, and a strange, hand-carved model of a human fighter jet. The room hums with the echoes of battles long past, a testament to Tarek's former life. Humanity was unlike any species the galaxy had ever seen. Tarek begins, seating himself on a metal crate and gesturing for the trio to sit as well. Most civilizations grow up with rules, with traditions, with an understanding of their place in the universe. But humans, they don't. They defy those boundaries, sometimes out of necessity, sometimes out of pure stubbornness. He leans back, his gaze drifting to a corner of the room where an old holographic projector sits. Activating it, he shows them a replay of the infamous Battle of Zethan 9, a brutal conflict against the Karith Dominion. The students watch as human soldiers, outnumbered and outgunned, fight with reckless abandon, devising unconventional tactics on the fly. They use guerrilla maneuvers, decoys, and even environmental traps in ways the Federation forces had never considered. Humans adapt, Tarek explains, his voice softening with a hint of respect. Where other species freeze in the face of the unknown, they innovate, they invent, they sacrifice, and they refuse to surrender, even when defeat seems certain. I saw men and women hurl themselves into the jaws of death just to buy time for their allies. It wasn't about glory, it was about survival and loyalty. Zari shifts, her plasma form glowing dimly as she absorbs Tarek's words. The Federation saw that as a threat? Tarek nods grimly. It wasn't just their tactics or their courage. It was the effect they had on the rest of us. Fighting alongside humans changed us. Their resolve, it's contagious. It makes you question orders, question authority, question the rigid doctrines we'd followed for centuries. It challenged everything the Federation believed about war and peace. Drilla's wings flutter with apprehension. So they were banned because they could inspire rebellion? Precisely, Tarek says, nodding. The Galactic Council feared that if humans remained in the Federation, they would inspire other species to adopt their ways that could destabilize the carefully constructed balance of galactic order. So, they exiled Earth, labeling them as a threat to peace. They feared humanity's influence more than their strength. Tarek pauses, his gaze distant, but that wasn't the whole story. The Council forced humanity into isolation. Yes, but again, they also feared something else, something they never admitted publicly. Humanity's resilience didn't come from their technology or their numbers. It came from their ability to unite under shared ideals, to defy even the harshest odds. The students listen, spellbound, as Tarek continues. There was one soldier, Captain Elias Carr, who became something of a legend. In one of the final battles, he rallied not just his own troops but soldiers from dozens of other species, including mine. He led them into an impossible mission and emerged victorious, his troops inspired by his sheer force of will. A hologram of Captain Carr flickers to life, showing a human in worn combat armor standing atop a ruined starship, rallying an assembly of exhausted, battle-worn soldiers from various alien species. His voice is hoarse, but his words are filled with conviction. We fight not because we hate our enemy, but because we love what we protect. Stand with me. If we fall together. And if we rise as one. The students watch in awe as the soldiers, once scattered and defeated, rally behind Carr, a mix of alien and human forces moving as one, defeating an overwhelmingly superior enemy. The Federation's officers had seen this as more than a victory. It was an awakening, a revelation of a kind of power that went beyond military strength, a power rooted in unity, sacrifice, and hope. They feared Captain Carr most of all, Tarek says quietly, closing the hologram. He represented something the Federation couldn't control, a willingness to fight for ideals instead of orders. He and the humans showed us that war could be waged for reasons beyond conquest or survival. And that, my young friends, was too dangerous a concept for the Federation to allow. The trio sits in stunned silence, grappling with the implications of what they've learned. They realize that Earth's exile wasn't just a punishment. It was a calculated decision to erase an idea, a concept of freedom and unity that threatened to unravel the rigid structure of the Federation. Finally, Drila speaks, her voice barely a whisper. But if humanity's influence could inspire unity, doesn't that mean there are missing piece? The key to a future where we don't just maintain peace through control but build it on something real? Tarek smiles, a faint glimmer of hope in his weary eyes. Perhaps, but that's a decision only the next generation can make. He looks at each of them in turn. The Federation wanted to bury the truth, but now you know it. So, I ask you, what will you do with this knowledge? Without hesitation, Vec replies, we can't let humanity's story remain buried. The galaxy deserves to know the truth. They need to see what's possible when we're united, not by fear, but by choice. Tarek's smile fades, replaced by a solemn expression. Then go, return to the academy, and prepare yourselves. There will be those who oppose you, who would do anything to keep humanity's influence contained. But remember what you've learned here today. Humanity's strength isn't theirs alone. It's in each of us who chooses to fight for something greater. As they depart from Tarek's asteroid, the trio feels a new sense of purpose and urgency. They realize they're no longer just students seeking answers. They are messengers carrying a forgotten truth, one that could shake the foundation of the Federation itself. And in their hearts, they know that a reckoning is coming, one that may change the galaxy forever. Back at the academy, Vec, Zadi, and Drila are restless. Armed with the truth about humanity and the Federation's calculated suppression of Earth's legacy, they're torn between their duty as students and a newfound sense of responsibility. They've glimpsed the power of unity and defiance humanity once brought to the galaxy, a vision that inspires them but also fills them with dread. They know that exposing this truth won't be easy. The Federation has too much to lose. Their anxiety grows as whispers begin to circulate about an imminent threat from the outer reaches of Federation space. A coalition of rogue planets, led by the unpredictable warlord Skarmun, has emerged, planning an invasion that would challenge even the Federation's most fortified defenses. Skarmun's forces are ruthless and unorthodox, combining technology from dozens of outlawed species, making them highly adaptable and impossible to predict. One evening, Professor Relic gathers the students for an emergency briefing in the Grand Auditorium. Holographic projections of planets under siege flash across the room, accompanied by reports of widespread destruction. Skarmun's forces have already claimed 3 border planets, and the Federation's defenses are buckling. As the images flicker, the gravity of the situation settles over the room. Professor Relic's voice is steely as he addresses them. The threat we face is unlike any before. Skarmun's forces are not bound by the treaties or ethics of the Federation. They fight with no honor, no rules, and they will not stop until they've dismantled everything we've built. The students sit in silence, feeling the weight of the crisis. Vec, Zari, and Drila exchange glances, each sensing the same unspoken thought. Humanity could make a difference in this war. But even as the thought takes root, they realize that the Federation would never willingly ask Earth for help, not after the deliberate banishment and suppression of their influence. After the assembly, Vec, Zadi, and Drila approach Professor Relic, their expressions determined. Vec speaks first, his voice tense but resolute. Professor, you know as well as we do that if humanity were involved, this would be a different battle. We've seen what they're capable of, and they're exactly what the Federation needs right now. Relic regards them carefully, his expression a mixture of admiration and concern. What you're suggesting is not only dangerous but also highly controversial. Bringing Earth into this conflict could mean challenging the very foundation of the Federation. Zari's plasma form glows brighter with urgency. But if we don't, the Federation could fall. We've read the reports on Skarmun. He fights with the same unrestrained, adaptable methods the humans use. He's unpredictable and ruthless. Just like the Karioth Dominion was, we need allies who understand that kind of warfare. After a long pause, Relic nods, his shoulders heavy with the decision he's about to make. I cannot officially support you in this endeavor, but there is an unmarked shuttle in the hangar. If it were to go missing for a short while, he trails off, giving them a meaningful look. I would never know. The trio shares a look of gratitude and determination. They know what must be done. They waste no time. Under the cover of darkness, Vec,
Zari,
and Drila board the unmarked shuttle, setting their course for the Sol system, Earth's long-forgotten home. The journey is tense, each of them acutely aware of the risks. If caught, they could be expelled or worse, but their resolve remains unshaken. Earth is their only hope. When they arrive in orbit around Earth, they're struck by the planet's beauty, a blue and green jewel set against the backdrop of space, alive with life and vibrancy. As they descend, they are greeted by cautious but curious human representatives, who direct them to a secure facility deep within a mountain range. Inside, they meet General Amina Cross, a woman with sharp eyes and a presence that radiates authority. She listens in silence as they explain the situation, the threat from Skarman, the Federation's desperation, and their belief that humanity holds the key to victory. Cross's expression remains impassive as they speak, but her eyes betray a flicker of interest. When they finish, she leans forward, steepling her fingers. Let me get this straight. The Federation banned us, erased us from history, and now they're on the brink of collapse. So they send their students to beg for help? The trio exchanges uneasy glances. Drila speaks up, her tone earnest. We're here on our own. The Federation didn't send us. We came because we believe in what you can bring to the galaxy. We've seen the courage and creativity humans are capable of. You don't owe the Federation anything, but you have the chance to save countless lives. Cross studies them for a long moment before she finally speaks. The Federation may not have treated us fairly, but humanity isn't driven by revenge. We fight for those who can't fight for themselves. She stands, her decision clear. We'll help, but on our terms. She explains that over the years, Earth has developed its own advanced defense systems, integrating alien technology with human ingenuity. Humanity had used its isolation to prepare, always watching the stars, waiting for the day they'd have to fight again. They had evolved in secrecy, blending technology with their resourceful spirit, creating something entirely unique. As the trio follows Cross through the facility, they see evidence of humanity's readiness. Rows of highly advanced fighters, tactical drones, and experimental combat suits line the hangars. Humans are training side by side, working in unison as they run drills and simulations. The intensity and unity of their efforts are palpable, each soldier driven by a shared purpose that goes beyond orders or regulations. Vec is awestruck. This is beyond anything we've ever seen. The Federation kept us in the dark. But humanity's progress, your innovations are incredible. Cross gives a faint smile. We may not have been part of your Federation, but that didn't stop us from evolving. We learned from every battle, every loss, and we kept moving forward. If we're going to fight, we're going to do it our way. The following days are a whirlwind of preparation. Humanity's forces train tirelessly, and the alien students join in, witnessing the intensity and resilience they'd read about come to life before their eyes. Together, they form a unified coalition, each species bringing its unique skills to the alliance. The experience transforms them, and they feel an unbreakable bond growing between them and their human counterparts. Word reaches them that Skarman's forces are advancing, moving quickly through Federation space. The Federation Council, growing desperate, dispatches envoys to negotiate with other allied species. But their efforts are futile. The Council is left with little choice but to consider Earth's involvement, a decision they never thought they'd face. When the final call comes to engage Skarman's fleet, humanity leads the charge. Earth's fleet, bolstered by Vec, Zari, Drila, and their newfound allies, arrives at the battleground, a desolate sector filled with the wreckage of previous skirmishes. Skarman's forces are relentless, attacking with a ferocity and unpredictability that leaves the Federation's forces in disarray. The situation is dire, with Federation ships struggling to withstand the onslaught. In a bold maneuver, Captain Elias Carr's descendant, Commander Maya Carr, rallies her forces, echoing her ancestors' legendary words. We fight not for victory, but for what we stand to protect. Stand with me. If we fall together. And if we rise as one. Her voice ripples through the combined fleet, rekindling hope and determination. The human-led coalition engages Skarmun's forces with tactics that defy conventional warfare, using formations and strategies that leave even the most seasoned Federation admirals in awe. Humanity's unity, forged in isolation and tempered by their past, shines as a beacon for all those fighting by their side. Against all odds, they manage to push Skarmun's forces back, reclaiming ground and rallying the Federation's scattered fleets. The Federation soldiers, inspired by humanity's courage and tenacity, fight with a renewed spirit. It's not just a battle. It's a rebirth, a moment of unity that defies centuries of division. As the dust settles and Skarmun's forces retreat, Vic, Sadi, and Drila stand side by side with their human allies, watching the stars. They realize that they've become part of something far greater than the Federation or Earth. They are part of a vision of unity that could reshape the galaxy. Humanity's exile had been a misguided attempt to contain what the Federation feared. But now, standing together as victors, it's clear that Earth's legacy was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to be shared. With the galaxy watching, humanity's return marks the dawn of a new era, an era where strength is found not in isolation, but in a shared destiny. And for the first time in galactic history, the Federation and its allies realize they are stronger together than apart. The aftermath of the battle leaves a profound silence in the void of space, punctuated only by the glowing remnants of Skarmun's defeated fleet. Humanity's forces, standing alongside the Federation's, have achieved an unprecedented victory, and the echoes of the struggle linger among them like an unspoken promise, a promise that the galaxy will never be the same. Commander Maya Carr stands aboard her flagship, surveying the remnants of Skarmun's army, drifting into the darkness. Around her, the fleet is alive with the celebrations of those who fought and won side by side, Federation and Earth soldiers alike. She looks to the trio, Vec, Zadi, and Drila, whose resolve brought humanity back into the galactic fold. Maya's voice is firm but filled with pride as she addresses them. "This victory belongs to all of us," she says, her eyes bright with determination. "We didn't just fight against an enemy. We fought to redefine what this galaxy stands for." As the final embers of the battle fade, Federation leaders gather aboard the massive flagship orbiting the scene of their victory. The Galactic Council, once apprehensive of humanity's influence, now stands humbled and introspective. They watch as Federation soldiers shake hands with humans, sharing stories and offering respect, a rare sight for a galaxy once divided by rigid protocols and isolation. In the grand meeting chamber of the flagship, a historic gathering takes place. Leaders from every Federation species, including the Council members, Commander Maya Carr, and Professor Relic, assemble to discuss what this battle means for the future of the galaxy. Vec, Zadi, and Drila stand with Maya, their presence a testament to the journey that led to this moment. Counselor Threx, a long-standing advocate of Earth's exile, speaks first, his tone cautious. The outcome here speaks volumes, he admits reluctantly, but there are questions to answer, not least of which is, what does Earth's involvement mean for the Federation? Before anyone else can speak, Maya rises, her presence commanding the room's attention. "It means the Federation has to change," she says simply. "Today, we stood together, not because of hierarchy or regulations, but because we believed in protecting each other. Humanity's exile didn't erase our resilience, it made us stronger. And today, we've shown the galaxy that our strength isn't just in our technology or tactics, it's in our unity." Professor Relic steps forward, his expression thoughtful. This crisis reminded us of something fundamental. Strength lies not in isolation, but in the bonds we share. Humanity's influence brought us together in a way that hasn't happened in millennia. He looks around the chamber, his gaze unwavering. It is time to bring Earth back, not as a distant world under restriction, but as a full ally of the Federation. His words ripple through the room, each representative absorbing the implications. Counselor Threx hesitates, but seeing the support from the other leaders and his own soldiers, he nods slowly, conceding to the momentum that humanity's courage has built. "Then let it be so," he says, his voice a blend of resignation and acceptance. Earth shall be welcomed back not as a threat, but as an equal partner. The Council votes, and with a unanimous decision, Earth's status is restored. Humanity, once exiled and erased, is now formally invited to take its place among the stars. As the Council formally lifts Earth's exile, cheers break out among the soldiers, human and alien alike, united by the realization that they have ushered in a new era for the galaxy. In the days following the victory, celebrations erupt across Federation space. News of Earth's return spreads, and humans are met with a mix of awe and admiration as they step into the spotlight of galactic society. On planets across the Federation, people speak of the heroism and bravery of the human soldiers, and the inspiration they brought to their allies. Statues are erected, and songs are sung, recounting the day Earth saved the Federation. For Vec, Zari, and Drila, life at the Academy will never be the same. They've become heroes in their own right, celebrated as the ones who dared to seek the truth, challenge the rules, and bring humanity back to the stars. Their friendship is stronger than ever, bound not just by shared experiences but by the knowledge that they were part of something far greater than themselves. One evening, the trio meets with Professor Relic in the Academy's garden, the place where their journey began. The garden is alive with alien flora glowing under the starlit sky, a scene of serene beauty that feels worlds away from the battles they've fought. I have to admit, Relic says, smiling at them, I didn't expect you three to go as far as you did, but you've taught us all something valuable, that the galaxy's strength lies in its diversity. Zari nods, her plasma form flickering with a soft, contented glow. We've learned that humans aren't just warriors or strategists, they're visionaries. They don't just fight to survive. They fight for something bigger than themselves. Drilla, her wings resting gracefully behind her, adds, they've shown us that sometimes, questioning authority and embracing uncertainty can lead to the most powerful kind of unity. Vec, looking out at the stars, speaks softly. We started this journey searching for the truth about humanity's exile, but we found something far more profound. We found a galaxy that's stronger when it's united, not because of rules or fear, but because of shared purpose. Professor Relic places a hand on each of their shoulders. The three of you are part of that future. Remember this day, and remember that each of us has a responsibility to uphold this new vision of the galaxy. He pauses, his gaze serious but warm. You've set the course for a new chapter in galactic history. Don't ever forget that. Years pass, and the galaxy evolves with Earth as an active part of the Federation, inspiring a new era of cooperation, innovation, and resilience. Vec, Zadi, and Drilla graduate from the Academy and take on leadership roles, each carrying the legacy of their journey. The Federation grows stronger, no longer relying on rigid traditions but embracing the diverse strengths of its members. Humanity's return becomes a celebrated part of galactic history, taught to new generations as a reminder that unity is not forged through control, but through understanding, trust, and shared vision. And in a galaxy that once feared humanity's influence, the presence of Earth becomes a symbol of hope and possibility. As the stars continue to shine across the vastness of space, one truth remains: the Federation, now whole, will never forget the day the galaxy stood as one. Together, they are prepared to face any challenge, knowing that no matter the threat, their unity is unbreakable. And so, the story of Earth's exile and triumphant return becomes the foundation of a new age, an age where diversity is celebrated, alliances are strengthened, and the galaxy finally realizes its true potential, united and unstoppable.